Hello, peeps. How you be? I'm gonna give people a moment to join me. It's a gorgeous, well, not super sunny actually, but kind of warm-ish, warmer day in Colorado. Sunday afternoon, chilling. Sunday maybe isn't as relevant today as it used to be, but it is still Sunday. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. How are ya? So I just went on a gorgeous hike with my man, Brian. And we were having this really cool conversation. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for being here. We were having this really cool conversation about a lot of things, about consciousness and evolution. And I just had some stuff that really excited me and inspired me, and I wanted to come and play. We were looking at, hey, Fee. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming to play. Right now, you could say that there's a massive evolution going on the planet. And you can look at this whole virus thing, and all the stuff going on with it in so many different ways, of course. And there's a million different points of view and conversations that you can have and all that. But there's a lot of change going on right now. And one of the things a lot of us have been saying is there's not going to be a going back to normal. There's no going back to normal. There isn't even, and I'm like, how cool that there isn't even a normal. I've never really liked normal anyway. So never have, I can't even think of the word. I've never had a striving in my life to be normal. So that's kind of exciting for me. I'm like, cool, there's no more normal anymore. There's no longer a normal. There's not going to be a back to normal. So what does that mean for us in terms of, what does that look like as a planet, really, as a global community? As much as everybody would like for us to not be a global community right now, or, community or whatever you want to call it. It's amazing how the world is really coming together in a lot of ways that hasn't been before, with all the borders closed and all of that stuff. But so it's sort of like, okay, so where to from here, and what if we didn't have to wait until lockdown was over, and we didn't have to wait until, this whole thing was done, to actually create something. Gary Douglas says, never wait, always create, the founder of Access Consciousness. Never wait, always create. And so what can we be creating now? And how, and, from a business perspective, the businesses that are staying in this mode of creation, they're actually allowing themselves to evolve. They're continuing with the evolution of just change, are actually able to work with the times and play and create with the times. Another amazing Gary Douglas quote, one of my favorites, is that the only thing a successful business requires is change. So, and how cool, there's a lot of change going on in the world right now, And so are you gonna dig your heels in and try to stay normal? Try to be committed to, the normal that has died, or are you going to allow yourself to evolve and to change? And if you allow yourself, your business, everything to evolve and to actually change, then you get to actually be part of the creation of a future, and part of the creation of something different for the planet, part of the creation of something different for all of us, and for everybody who truly chooses that. And that to me is so incredibly exciting. Innovation is a huge topic in business, and those businesses, and this has always been the case, a business that is engaged with innovation is always going to be on that creative edge of what's available in the world. And these are some of the businesses that have been so, very successful, are the most innovative people and businesses. They're not normal. They don't function from normal. They function from evolving their business, evolving commerce, evolving the economy, evolving themselves, evolving creation, evolving how we interact with each other, evolving, like if you look at how many people have all of a sudden started playing on Zoom, that Zoom is something that I've used for years. I've been a huge part of my business for years. I have had a global online business for years. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's now playing on Zoom. And so it's like that, like staying on this creative edge of creation and innovation that is the evolution of everything that allows us to continue to use everything that's happening right now to our advantage to have more. D2 says, my body was asking for a change, a huge change. So is my business asking for change. Awesome. How does it get better than that? And sometimes, when we're not willing to say yes to the change that we know we need to make, then we sort of get, forced into it. But hey, better to choose it than what a change, holy moly, right? Exactly. And if you can ask the question, is this a change I've been asking for? That can really open up the possibilities of what's going on. Because if you're looking at what's occurring right now in the world is like, oh my God, everything's falling apart. My business is falling apart. My money is falling apart. Like whatever is, you may think is falling apart. Then that, if that's your point of view, then that is exactly what's going to occur. Your point of view creates your reality. But if you look from the point of view of, and the curiosity of, is this the change I've been asking for? Wow. Like what can open up is so incredible, because all of a sudden you are on this evolutionary creative edge of creation and innovation and possibilities. And it's like when we're creating and innovating and having new possibilities and evolving, you don't know what you're evolving into. If you look at like the time of dinosaurs on the planet, humans were like, we were no such thing at that point, and had anybody had like cognitive capacities, dinosaurs didn't really have cognitive capacities, but you wouldn't have been able to predict how the planet would look today. Right. So, and the thing is that we look at evolution and we kind of think, oh, well, evolution is something that has happened up until now, but no, evolution doesn't stop. It's not something that happened and now all of a sudden we're here and it's fixed and it's all stabilized now. Evolution is part of nature. It's part of the earth. It's part of us. Like we came from, primates. And who's to say that we do not continue to evolve? We do continue to evolve. We are continuing to evolve. We will continue to evolve. Even though we have minds and we have more of like, we can manipulate things in this reality more. Evolution is still happening, guys. It doesn't stop just because people with brains have landed on the planet, It is still occurring, of the earth, of land masses, of our bodies, of our beings, of the, and this whole virus thing and everything that's changed as a result of it, I would say is very much part of the evolution of the species and what's going on the planet right now and what's available. It's like very much part of the evolution of things, so evolution is not a thing of the past. It's a thing that continues to occur. And we have this conversation in Access Consciousness of like a specialty area called X-Men, Access Consciousness X-Men. And it's really looking at the like X-Men as the evolution of the species. Tony, I love you too. X-Men and humanoids, people that function more from curiosity, more from not needing to be normal, not requiring to be normal. We function more from this, like we actually have the capacity to be the evolution of the species. And that may sound weird or whatever, but just stay with me for a moment here, because we know different things. We function in a different way. So one of the things we talk about with the X-Men conversation is how we function. Like a lot of people that have been either diagnosed or just have tendencies to have ADD, ADHD, OCD, autism, any sort of different way of functioning, whether you've been diagnosed or not. And I was never diagnosed. I was like, I'm not an X-Men, I'm normal. Ha 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 ha. Until I found out I was completely not normal. Thank God. And, even though I hadn't been diagnosed as any of these things, I started to learn about this and get my hands on some of the information in the X-Men classes and realize, oh, wow, I am highly autistic, I'm highly OCD, I'm highly ADHD, and I can use that to my advantage. And I have this crazy, bizarre, weird, creative capacities that come with those propensities and tendencies and ways that I function and ways that my brain works, which a lot of you may as well. But what happens is we see it from a perspective of wrongness, and we think, well, I'm just can't figure it out. I'm not like the rest of the world. I'm wrong. So we judge it. We judge the difference that we be. We judge actually the evolution that we be. We judge it. And then we turn it into the wrongness, and we turn it into, and anything that you judge, you can't receive from. So if you're judging the things that you've decided are wrong about you, then you no longer are you evolving possibilities on planet Earth and evolving your own life, but you're actually judging it out of existence. Like, you cannot receive the brilliance that you be. And so one of the things I love about the X-Men conversation is it gets us out of the wrongness of it, like flips everything. So it gets you out of the wrongness of, oh, I'm not, and into, oh, wow, I have capacities here that nobody else has. I have a way of functioning in the world that is different, that is on actually the creative edge. I have a capacity to innovate and create and evolve my life, business, money, the economic reality, bodies, embodiment, like all these different areas of life that we actually have capacities to evolve, and we are the evolution of the species in so many ways. And that might sound crazy, but we as a planet are evolving right now out of something that hasn't worked for most of us, has been very limiting and limited, the destruction of the earth, and impossibility in so many areas, like this reality, which is all about the impossible and not about the possible. That hasn't worked for most of us. We've had an awareness of a different possibility. We are evolving now into that. And I dare say it is up to us to actually create a different possibility and a different reality with that. And how do we do that? Well, it's not about shouting anything from the rooftops or trying to get anybody to follow you or trying to get anybody to get you. It's actually about you stepping into the capacities that you have and be. As the difference that you are, recognizing, whoa, okay, I function really differently from the rest of the world. I can use that to create rather than judge myself for not getting it. That's one of the things that was always the case for me, is I would look around the world as a kid and, even as an adult, and I still do sometimes, where I'm like, I think I missed the memo on that. I don't think I got the memo as to how to do that or whatever, and so I would I was always trying to figure out how to make things work, and how to fit into this reality and how to fit into people's universes, and how relationships are done, and how all these different things are sort of done in the world, because it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, oh, okay, so you all do this based on judgment, but I don't really get judgment, because X-Men don't really get judgment. We just know we perceive it very dynamically, and we think that it's ours, but we don't really know how to do it. It's not a natural way of being, but this whole reality is created around judgment. And that is the thing that, to me, right now, there is such an opening to create, to evolve that, and to evolve beyond that, and to allow this dying reality to die, not have it be a problem, and continue to create and continue to move and continue to show up and continue to play, and use, unhide, uncover, pull out from, the veil of judgment, get rid of the judgment, and go, dang, if I was actually the evolution of the species, what could I be creating? If I was evolving my life, if I was evolving my business with the rapidly changing times, what would that be? What could that look like? What could I create? If I was evolving the economic reality, if I was actually, if everything that I thought was fucked up about me with money was actually my greatness with it, then what? What do I actually know about bodies and embodiment that is totally different than how the rest of the world functions? So all these different areas, X-Men have amazing capacities with, absolutely amazing capacities with. We have been trained to judge those out of existence and to judge ourselves out of existence. And now is the time. Now is the time to be curious about that, to uncover it, to pull off the judgments, get rid of them, and actually step into what we all know about the evolution of the planet, the evolution of our lives, the evolution of possibilities, the evolution of the earth, and the evolution of what's actually available to all of us living on this planet together, living and thriving in abundance and creation and aliveness and orgasmic living. It's time, guys. It is time. So I am actually doing a series that starts this week. It's called X-Men Creation. It's the Creation series, where we are actually going to be playing with the X-Men tools in Access Consciousness, and it's 5 calls. It starts this week, and 1 call on business, 1 call on money, 1 on bodies, 1 on sex, and 1 on the earth, and looking at our X-Men capacities as we be, and what can we actually evolve in our own lives and in the world with business, money, bodies, sex, and earth. All very dynamic, very juicy topics that we could dive into for days. We're going to play in each call for a different topic and really get out of the wrongness that you have in your life with all of those different areas and into the capacities, flipping the wrongness into the brilliance and the strongness and the greatness and the capacities that you actually be, and being the evolution of a different conversation and a different reality in all of these areas. So you are invited to come and join me. And we are also going to be starting on Friday, a 3-day Business Done Different masterclass, which is literally a creation masterclass that is a Joy of Business class that I also very dynamically weave the tools from X-Men into that class and get into like the crazy brilliance of creation that we be, that allows us to create completely to beyond this reality with business and life and everything. It's a fucking amazing class. It's one of my favorites. So that starts on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's during the day, US time. I'm doing one on a Europe friendly time at the beginning of May. But all that is going to be online. So truly, it's time for a different reality. It is time for a different possibility. It is time for us to use this time to explode and exponentialize, evolve and nurture all of these possibilities that we have always known, that we have hidden and tucked away, to like basically, from the point of view that we're wrong. But you're not wrong, you're brilliant. You have capacities to create things and actualize things in the world that nobody else has. And it's up to you to actually bring that. It's up to you to be that. It's up to you to nurture that, and to step into what is it that you know that can evolve possibilities in the world, not just for you, but for all of us. And there is a huge opening right now, a huge possibility right now to create something so different in the world. And I am so excited about it and so grateful for this time, loving it, like really loving that nothing that was exists anymore. How freaking cool is that? We have a blank slate for creation, guys, and it's time for us to create actually the world that we would like to see. You may not think you're valuable as part of that conversation, but you know what? You are. You are. Getting over your hesitation, getting over your fear, getting over whatever it is, your judgments of you, and stepping up and stepping into that is one of the greatest gifts that you can give not only the world, but yourself, And it's also one of the ways that you can start creating so much change and so much possibility in every area of your life that hasn't actually worked for you. If there's areas of your life that haven't worked for you, it's because there's some greatness there. There's some capacity that you have there that you have judged out of existence and not allowed yourself to receive the brilliance of you. When you get out of the judgment, you make these amazing capacities that you have and be available to you. And you can actually use it as fodder for creation of a different reality and the evolution of what's available on planet Earth right now, in every way, in every area. And some very pragmatic stuff inside these conversations. So X-Men, the Creation series, starts on Wednesday. You can go to heathernichols.com/X-Men Creation. So excited that this is happening right now. Business Done Different, 3-day creation masterclass starts on Friday. heathernichols.com/BDD online. That's all going to be on Zoom, and we will be playing. All kinds of other stuff on my website, heathernichols.com. Thank you so much for being here, for being you, for showing up for a very different conversation. And I hope to see you all. Actually, I hope to see y'all in person sometime soon. Let's get over this crazy quarantine shit and let's create something very different. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.